Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome back to the channel. Right in front of us, we have the Ameight Kermu. I'm going to be doing the final review, and this thing was not bad. I kind of liked it. What I really liked was like the overall handle. Honestly, the handle is what kind of appealed to me the most. Just that carbon fiber inlay, and then also that diamond milling on the titanium part of the handle. It's just freaking. It's on point. It's fabulous looking. Yeah, I said fabulous because it is. But I don't know. I really like silver, so that's why I kind of just liked it. I don't know. It just drew me to it. It feels good in hand though. The handle does. The blade's obviously not bad. Obviously, that's the main part you need. You know, that's the part that's going to do the cutting. So that's obviously important too. It is M390 right there, as you can see. They said it was a hand rubbed satin finish on it and a compound grind, as you can see right there a little bit. So it's not too bad. It's pretty sharp. And this is coming from the pass around, so people have used it a little bit, but still feels pretty sharp. Looks great still. Hollow ground also. Put that out of the way. But yeah, and it's snappy, pretty snappy. Also, obviously, rear flipper tabs for me usually are. Um, if they're done right, they're usually always very snappy. Some knives obviously not because the flipper tab's a little awkward or weird or just not done right for the blade size. But this one is pretty good. It is kind of small, like thin wise like this. It does stick out a little bit, but not too shabby. And it's got some jimping on there that works pretty well. As you can see right there. So not too bad. Like I said, it is pretty snappy. Closes pretty well. Backspacer is titanium. Goes with the overall handle. Like I said, it's got the carbon fiber inlay, the silver. It looks great on both sides. Really liked it. I don't know why that kind of trips me out right there. This little part. Because it makes me look like there was a cut in it or something like that, but there's nothing. So I don't know why. But what really kind of drew me to it also is that, like I said, this little diamond texturing right there, the milling. Because it's so small and so fine. Like it's, I don't know how long it would have taken them to do this, but it's done very well. Pocket clip is titanium, not reversible. One thing I didn't care for with the pocket clip is it is kind of thin, but obviously that's not too bad. But the part that's kind of hard for me is how small the like I have a gap this is. Like if there was a little bit more of a ramp, I think that would have worked better for me. I can still get my finger under there to pry it up a little bit, so prying up isn't the problem. It's getting that in your pocket. So sometimes some jeans are obviously thinner than others and thicker and obviously like that. But the ones I have, like they're not like super thin, but they're not super thick either. I would say they're average, size, thickness, and I don't necessarily have too much of a problem, but I definitely kind of have to make sure it's give it a little push. You know what I mean? It does have jimping on it also. Jimping's pretty aggressive too. I like that. But yeah, I can actually hit it with my thumb, which is always nice. Not always with every knife, right? But it feels good. No, it doesn't like tear my thumb up or anything like that. It's overall pretty good. No hot spots really to speak of. I feel the titan or the pocket clip, but not too bad because it sits so low on the knife. So I feel it. I know it's there. It doesn't have a real problem though. But I don't know. It's overall pretty snappy looking, good looking knife. I think it's running on ball bearings. I think that's what I read. I didn't write it down, but I think that's what I read. But not bad overall. Let's check these screws out real quick for you guys. I haven't checked out anything from Ameight in a long... Man, I think it's been a year. So I'm kind of was glad to get to check this out because I like Ameight. They have some pretty good stuff. I think they're under Migron now. Migron knives. So everything is T8 except for that lock bar screw. Even the pocket clip's T8, so that's nice. It is not milled out on the inside at all, so it's a solid piece. So honestly, it's not real heavy. I don't have a problem with it. But that's just me. Just me. And the blade is a lot longer than I thought it was. You're looking at just a little over 3.25 inches long for the cutting edge and 8 inches for the overall length. Sharpening choil, and it's not really, I wouldn't say a finger choil. I don't think I would feel. I guess it's not bad if you don't have meaty fingers. I'm not bad. I can push back on the rear flipper tab, So I feel safe right there as long as I got my thumb also on the jimping right there. I feel like I can get a good pinch, but I don't know. It's just a little close to the blade, and I'm not all about that life. I like my fingers where they're at. You know what I mean? But it is pretty thin behind the choil, behind the blade, so you might be all right getting some good sharpening in. Just not real like deep in, like going down. So, but you get a few good ones in, depending on how you sharpen. If you're like me and you're terrible at it, you don't do it yourself. You pay someone else or find someone who knows how to do it, willing to help you. But yeah, I'm not good at it. I'm still working on it. I'm still working up on doing more expensive knives. I'm working on my cheap ones though, because I'd rather tear up a budget blade than something that's probably $200. You know what I mean? So 4.1. 4.1. So that's not really too bad. I don't think. I don't mind weight. It doesn't really bother me too much. Weight doesn't. Unless it's one of them big old Gucci overbuilt knives, then weight kind of comes into play because, you know, even though I wear a belt, I don't want my pants falling out, if you know what I mean. Here is a quiet carry drift. So this is kind of like a little comparison real quick. Obviously size. I'll also compare the diamond texturing here in a second too. And this is the Kaiser Militao, which I freaking love that thing. I just recently got it. And I love freaking snapping that thing. And these are all three pretty much the same length. I mean, they're all neck and neck, dude. It's kind of funny. All right, let's show you the texturing real quick. Obviously, this is more like a stone washed look. This is more like a satin. And this does not want to show up like this does. So, but this is obviously a little bit different texturing just to begin with. Yes, it's diamond, but it's a different type. Obviously, you got the major, like the lines are really popping through on this, going every which way, you know, this way, that way. This, not so much, but it's still just as good. I like both. You know, the grip wise, like on the drift, that feels good. I love this handle. I love the grip. I love everything about it. I love the knife just in general. It's a great knife. And I love the way it feels. I don't feel like I want to slip. And it's the same for this. Like, even though it's got the carbon fiber inlay and looks great, I don't feel like I'm going to slip at all. The diamond texturing with my finger, like I feel it, but I don't feel like I'm going to slip. It feels good. It feels like I got a good sturdy grip on it. And I feel like this would be a great just everyday carry. It looks good, and it's got M390 on it, so obviously you can get some cutting in, you know, do some whatever you do with, you know, your knives, you know. If you beat them up and cut everything with them, I'm sure you'll do a fine job with it. What was I getting ready to say? Crap. Oh, the one thing that irks me, it's not really anything, is only the rear flipper tab. Like, there's very few knives that I'd like just the rear flipper tab on it, and that's it. I always like that secondary function to open it. I don't know why. That's how I've always been. But that's all this has, that rear flipper tab. I think my other one that I like is the Arcform Prospect. Love that thing. Oh, and the Arcform Slimfoot that I have. Like, they're both just rear flipper tabs, but I freaking love them. They're just great knives overall. And this one's not bad. Those are obviously a lot pricier than this one. I think it's like $200. The other ones are like, they were up there like 300 when they came out. 300 something. But it's not bad for this though. But a pretty solid knife overall. I like the compound grind too. That's just I do like that. But that's all I got though. If you guys have any questions, comments, just let me know. And if you like the video, leave a thumbs up. If not, not a big deal. Just have a good day. All right. Thanks, guys.